Hello everyone and welcome to another iteration of a Dominaria United traditional draft with a fairly easy first pick. The Lanovar green video is going to be always better than any common or uncommon, with the exception of that maybe if you want to force like the defender deck and then you open the white defender, can't recall its name right now, but the 4 mana BO3 that creates those 1/1 flyers, which is of course the best defender in the set and maybe the best uncommon in the set if you get to draft a little bit around it. Alright, anyway, the green widow is now my pick from this pack pretty easily. You don't have to be domained to make good use of this card. Even with a 2-color deck you can bring it back with 6 mana, which is plenty enough because you're getting a very good deal for your 3 mana in the first place. 3 mana 4/3 with trample and reach is definitely a playable card by itself. I mean, way better than average. I can go to any direction here, but I guess there was the domain blue-green uncommon. I'm not sure how easily that's going to come back though, but I might do another domain draft now because I don't think I did any domain draft after the, was it my draft number 2 or 3, which was a domain draft, and then I had mostly 2 colors or 2 colors with splash deck, so I could draft a domain deck at some point if I get the proper start for it, but now this pack isn't necessarily great for a domain deck unless I take a Slime Foods survey at pick number 2, which really is not, a card worth picking unless you are heavily forcing the domain archetype. This is mostly a 3/3 menace for 3. It doesn't have green in its mana cost, so I don't think I'm gonna pick it here. I have actually felt kind of an urge to draft green-black at some point. I don't know if I have actually done that. And it has some nice mechanics that, for example, the self-mill can make the writing Necromass quite cheap, and this bug patcher is like not an exciting second pick in a draft, but that was a fairly weak pack maybe, and if I want to play the green widow I wanted to stick to green there, so it was a little bit of maybe me wanting to try green black. If it's open I will go that direction. So that was the reasoning of picking the bug patcher. I mean, you could have taken some other not so exciting card there from that pack too, because this definitely is not like a very strong card. It's just a pretty neat card in a green-black deck. Now I'm gonna take a bite down here, totally an off-color card, or the writing Necromass. I feel like I want to take the Necromass here. I mean, I can try getting some self-mill and get a green-black, self-mill focused deck. I don't know if that's actually reasonable. There's not a great blue-red card, by the way. But there is a bite down and a haunted mire here. I mean, the bite down is better, but I really like even in these 2-color decks to have some of these fixing lands to not play 9/8 mana base. I have had enough color issues, so I think this is a nice card, but not like enough amazing that I would be picking it here. I'll take this and try to just get green black, and look at this. I get an actual, synergy card for the deck. The correct color uncommon here, and it's even a pack that doesn't have anything too amazing here. I do like the Balduin Berserker, but it's not that amazing. But yeah, of course I'm gonna take the Berg here now. Another Haunted Mire. I don't really like the Toxic Abomination. I have played a bit with it. Maybe in a very aggressive white-black or black-red deck it can be a serviceable 2-drop, but I don't really consider it a very good card. So I'm gonna just take another Haunted Mire here and hope that I get at least some green and black cards worth picking here. But this is, well, to be fair, this is a fairly weak pack. There's some defenders here, of course. Am I gonna be able to get the defender deck going on? I mean, if I get the black uncommon, that makes... No, I don't think I'm gonna try that with this deck. I have other plans. I don't know what I'm supposed to take here. Maybe I'll just take the Windfall, because I can get a land with it, and then I can jump block with it, and then, the Necromass gets cheaper and stuff like that. Maybe I'll take the uncolored card. I pretty much started forcing green-black, and I guess I'm gonna do that then. Okay, the root wall is nice. I think it's okay enough even if you don't have more than 2 land types, and I might find some lands that give me some other land types as well. I mean basic land types. Alright, so nothing is here very interesting. I'll take the discard card. Gibbering Barricade versus Deathbloom Gardener. I mean, both are kind of nice. The 3-mana activation is pretty expensive though, and this can help me. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna take the Death Toucher here. Okay, I got one of these bite downs this late. It's not really a big surprise because it's not exactly that strong of a card. It's like passable. It's not premium removal by any means. I do like the art in it. The image is pretty cool. Okay, I got a last big Toxic Abomination here. Alright, so that's not really easy to get working because there are not a lot of clerics in this set, so let's maybe ignore that card, and I will ignore it because there is an Extinguished Light. I wouldn't mind maybe having a Century Connoisseur, but the Extinguished Light is of course a totally first pickable card. You are happy to even first pick this, even though it's just a common. Now there is a Phyrexian Missionary which is pretty decent because I could be splashing white. Is it worth the splash though? Because a lot of this card's value comes from the fact that you can just play it on turn 2, get a nice, you know, couple of nice attacks in some life point swings. Could be pretty good for racing situations. If you just splash for the Gravedigger effect, it's a little less interesting. I don't think I care about the Weather Seed 3D either. But if I'm gonna, try the Self-Mill, I think I should actually take the Soul Tender, which is not good usually, but in this deck, I know I didn't get a second riding Necromass, but maybe I will find some more of them, and the Urk does like, Self-Mill effects, so I'm gonna take these here, see if the Self-Mill works. Now, the Self-Mill archetype is something that often has been built in limited sets, but it still doesn't seem to, work that well. The black, something that is focused on blue maybe has worked a little bit better, but the black-green self-mill cards, they usually are a bit too clunky to make the archetype very good. And let's try it in here. Now this is not like a heavy self-mill set, but there's some elements to it. Right, so am I supposed to take Threats Undetected? It's a pretty interesting card because I think this can be the kind of grindy deck that could use that card. I could just take the Tribute to Ubok. I'm not gonna take the Sojourner. Oh, there's the land too, but I guess I'm gonna try this. This kind of archetype is going to be, very, very grindy. It's not fast or anything. I just try to survive and then have a superior late game. Am I gonna take away the seed? Sorry, not Weather Seed. Weather Light Completed. It's not really a good one, but if I'm gonna have some creatures dying, I could just take a Phyrexian Vivisector maybe, but it's just a random 2-drop. I mean, this will be a 5/5 flyer once it has 4 counters, but it's not easy to get the 4 counters, but still, I'm slightly interested in this card. Let's take it, and maybe I will cut it from the main deck or something like that. Okay, I'm gonna take another copy of Extinguished Light here. And Bone Splinters and an Elfheim Worm. Well, Bone Splinters does work nicely with the Winefall. Anything else it works well with? I guess with the Soul Tender it's not the worst. I'm gonna take it. I think I'm gonna get random 5-drops maybe, so I don't have to prioritize that kind of a card right now here. Another Soul Tender, Gardener, Sunbathing Rootwaller. The thing is that I don't have more than one riding Necromass here, so I'm not too interested in this card, but I guess I'm going to take the 2-drop here. Alright, so now maybe some land type, because I have now a couple of these Rootwallers. I should maybe take a land type that boosts it. So am I more interested in red or blue? I think the blue kicker cards are slightly better, so maybe I should take that. Okay, I'm gonna take the islet here. And now I can take an Elfheim Worm, or I could just take the Connoisseur too. But this is pretty big creature right from the get-go. This is just a 3-3 until it gets going. I think my deck is maybe more interested in the 5-4. So let's do that. Okay, now I can take a barricade. I don't think the Relic of Legends is gonna be too interesting here. It's not. And well, Molten Monstrosity. Am I going to splash for this thing? Who knows? Maybe I am. I will have some big creatures. Okay, another Molten Monstrosity. I'm almost interested in just picking that, but maybe I'll just take the Crusher here. It's a good blocker, and then it can, you know, also deal a bunch of damage once you get to start attacking with it. Okay, Tail Swipe. Now this is a lot better than the Bite Down. First of all, it's obviously just 1 mana, but then again, it's a fight, not a bite. But still, the fact it's only 1 mana, that's a big deal, and you can get the +1/+1 effect. So it's going to be the pick unless I find something more interesting. Now I'll take the Tail Swipe here. I could take the Sunlit Marsh actually, because of the Sunbathing Root Walla, but I'm gonna take this now. I have a lot of cards here, I need to cut a bunch of them, but maybe it won't be a big problem. Alright, I don't think I even want to have another Bite Down here. I'm a bit sad about the fact I didn't get any other Writhing Necromances in here. I'm kinda interested in the Radiant Grove here actually. I'll just take that. Iconoclast. Oh, there's the Repossession. This will be a good card in this deck. The thing is that I still like this 3-drop so much. I mean 2-drop. 2 mana 3/2 Trample Haste. I'm gonna take it. Okay, Terra Sunder, I'm going to take that kind of removal spell. Yeah, and now there is another copy of a Writhing Necromancer, but I'll take the removal. It's too good in a black-green. And Haunted Mire. Yeah, let's take the Fixing Land here. Okay, I think I'll take the Mossbird Ancient. Yeah, that's pretty good. It is 7 mana, but hopefully I can get there. And then there's a Wooded Ridgeline, which I could take for the Root Wallas. Wall Leech is actually... I mean, if I had access to blue more than... I have a bit of access to blue, but maybe not enough. This would be interesting in the deck. But maybe it would be more interesting if I had more of these Necromancers. So I'll take the Ridgeline now. And Phyrexian Warhorse. Probably not. No, I'm not gonna care about that. I'll take the Broken Wings for the sideboard. And Hexbane Tortoise. I don't want to play multiple of those Toxic Abominations, so I'll take Tortoise, but I don't know if I'm gonna play it. Okay, so here I could take the Apparition. I don't actually have that many 4-drops. It is a flyer. I don't care about having multiple Bite Downs. I have 2 of these Extinguish the Lights as well, so I'll take this. And yeah, there is still a Frost Fist Strider here, which is crazy, but I can't play the double blue card in here. Okay, I can maybe play the Prodigy. Soul Tender. Okay, that's a lot of cards. Okay, I'm gonna make a bunch of cuts here, obviously. I mean, this is 30 spells now. So I don't know how the deck is gonna look like. I would have wanted to take another Writhing Necromancer, but that just had a better card in it. I think it had the Terra Sunder in the pack, so oh well. Alright, so this is the deck. I'll cut the lands for now, and that is 32 cards, only 9 cards. Well, I think all the Battle Rage Blessings, they go away. And then what's going to be cut the next? Gibbering Barricade. Maybe not in the main deck. If I care about the 3 mana 2/4, then maybe Hexbane Tortoise can go away. I don't think I have room for the Wet Light completed. Maybe I can sideboard it in. I don't need a Snare Spinner in the main deck either. Toxic Abomination, how about that? Now the Winesaber Prodigy, I can kick it if I play both the Gardeners and then I have also the Tangled Islet. I don't think I have any other ways to produce blue, do I? Probably not. Nope. So, because if this is gonna be only a 2-mana 2/2 most of the time, it's not really that great. But I have only 2 cuts to make. This add blue. So let's see how many 2-drops that is currently. Creatures, I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm mostly green here as well. I feel like I actually will play the Tethered Apparition here. How about the Threats Undetected? Because for this thing it matters that your creatures have different powers. So of course I can have a 7 power creature, 2 5 power creatures. That's 2 2 3 3 1 1 4. That is, I think this updates you know, in the real time. In the library this will always have power equal to the lands in my graveyard, so that's kind of unknown. That's 3 2. So I have a lot of 2s, but I can only get one of them with the Threats Undetected. So the problem is if I have drawn such creatures that my deck doesn't have, you know, 4 different creatures to fetch anymore. I don't think that's gonna be that easy. I would have to have both my 5 drops, the 7 power creature. Then I have well, basically enough 2s to not worry about that. I have some 3s. There's 1 4. I'm not sure how good this is going to be. So opponent chooses which of those 2 I won't be having. So of course it's also there's also a problem that I'm gonna get the Winefall, which is completely irrelevant at that stage in the game, most of the time at least. But then again, getting something like Sunbathing Rootwalla is still okay. Still okay, I think. Because I can pump it to some relevant size, I think. I kind of want to play the Threats Undetected. Okay, so am I gonna cut the Toxic Abomination? I think that is the weakest card in here, so I will cut that. And I might keep the Wine Wall here. It's mostly just getting me a land and then getting a jump block, unless I happen to also get the Bone Splinters. The jump block is not that relevant because I only have 1 Writhing Necromass here, so I guess I could cut it. Maybe because I don't really need the lands either. I don't think. Now this is a weird deck, of course. I try to have some of this. Now I do have some recursion, so these things are 3/1s, and later in the game these will return something back from my graveyard to my hand. Ideally something like a Mossbird Ancient, Writhing Necromass, Elfheim Worm. So I do have some late game power in here, and that's a 4-mana removal spell. I can sideboard into something a little bit more defensive, but I think I'll start with this thing. Now actually I'm thinking about the Weatherlight Completed, because these I will just, you know, I can easily jump with these things because these have function while they're in the graveyard. But the problem with this card is that if you draw this later in the game, the 4 counters on it might not happen. And of course, if it has 7, draw a card if it... Okay, you get to actually scry as well, so there is that. So let's see, I'm gonna read it now fully, because basically I only paid attention to the part that after 4 creatures have died, creatures I control have died, this gets you know, the ability to be a creature. So and then draw a card if it has 7 or more. Okay, if it doesn't scry 1. So okay, so every time a creature dies, I also get to scry 1, which helps a bit. At 4, it's gonna be a 5/5 flyer. That is a lot. So let's say if I put this to my deck, what am I going to cut here still? I don't want to cut either of these gardeners. I want to try the threats undetected. I like this as a blocker, and then, you know, late game a way to attack. I guess the apparition might be the card I still will be cutting here among these cards if I'm gonna play this. This is my flyer instead of the apparition. So let's try this. This is still 15 creatures, so not like a crazy amount for this thing, but I guess I can get some creatures back from a graveyard with the Soul Tender. And yes, I do realize I had the race dead with a green kicker. I don't recall what did I pick over it. I don't actually recall what did I pick over it, because that can get you 2 creatures back from your graveyard. I was kind of hoping that, I was absolutely hoping that I would get one of those for this deck, because that's one of the reasons to be green-black too, you know, the kind of grindy green-black. Well, it didn't happen, so whatever. Let's take these, and then I have a double root Vala here, so let's have all these. And anything else that cares about domain? Well, I suppose the Green Widow gets cheaper to activate. Don't think anything else really cares about it. Yeah, I guess the red and blue lands can help with my kickers, because I have the Prodigy now. I'm thinking that maybe with the double Gardener and the Prodigy and the land here, maybe I can get to. I mean, that's 3 ways to get blue mana, and you can always just play this as a 2/2. Alright, so this is the deck minus the basic lands, and then I will, of course, this is a green-black deck, and I have a lot of green-black lands here, so this is green, green, green. That's 6 green and 3 black here now. I will add like a number of swamps here. That's now 8. I think if I do this, I don't have a lot of black cards, but I do have these double casters here, so this 9 should be enough, and then I can put the rest of the lands will be forests, and that's going to still be 11 ways to get green, so that's enough. I'm pretty sure about that. So that's the main deck with some, you know, defensive sideboard options. If I really have a grindy matchup, I can have the barricade in the deck, but I will start with this build. Okay, that's a totally nice hand actually to start with. It might be that I don't get to play this on turn 3 if I don't find an untapped land, but I think it doesn't matter too much. And there it is. I think I can just trade with that, with the Sunbathing Root. Because I'm not going to start activating this anytime soon. It's 4 mana. Yeah, this acts as a, you know, decent defense, a curve play on early in the game. Okay, that's that. Don't know if I want to. Well, I don't. I mean, I have 5 lands. Even if I get the 7-drop with this thing, I need only 2 more lands. I'm gonna actually just play a trade here. It's fine. I have a couple of more removal spells and I just need time. Okay, are they gonna make it just a 1/1? Because it's only gonna be a, you know, it's only going to be a 2/2 flyer, because they don't have another creature to, unless they can upkeep or draw step, play a flash creature. Alright, anyway, I got this Spawn of Truk here, which is actually not doing much here. I'm not going to have, I mean, at the beginning of my upkeep I look at the top card of my library, can put in the, well, I'm definitely not going to sack any lands here, so I'm gonna actually just play this now that I have the time for that. And this will be Green Widow for sure. Do I have the blue? I don't actually have the blue here, no, so no reason to take the creature with blue kicker, because I blocked with my Death Toucher. Then I will take the 5 drop here, and I think I will take a cheap thing. I could take just the Iconoclast, or maybe I should take the Bog Badger. It has 3 toughness, so let's take that, and then the final one, I'm gonna take the Ancient because I believe even if they give it to my hand, I will be able to get to 7 in this game because I have these removal spells in here. But you could really make a lot of different choices here, and the opponent can make too, so it's an interesting card at least. So they give me the 7 drop and the 5. So now I need to get maybe a little bit lucky and get an untapped land. But then again, if I don't get an untapped land, I can use a removal spell and then have the Worm later on. This thing does gain me 5 life, so it can, you know, help me a bit. Plus, of course, this can gain me some life. Yep. Whoop. This is rather easy now. Just kill the Warbrute. I mean, I could like exile it, and I get life by killing the bird. So if I exile it, there's nothing that can save it. There is the white thing that makes it indestructible, but nothing that gives hexproof from these colors or anything like that. So I'm actually going to end the turn and see if they, you know, have something like a haste or something. But if the yeah, I'm not going to cast this now because they might have the thing that gives a +1/+1 counter, lifelink and indestructible. So let's just do like this, and then I can. Well, let's see what he do before I decide what's my next turn's play. Could be the Worm or the Extinguished Light. Could also be a double spell. Land is very good because now I'm 1 land away from the Mossbird Ancient. So that's a pretty good one. Should I kill it? I can play the Root Wall and kill it. I think I'm gonna just do this just to get as much time as I can. Because now it doesn't matter what I draw, I can play the Worm if nothing else, and if I draw a land I can play the Ancient here. Okay, this is now 5. So if I attack with the Root Wall, they are obviously not going to block. If they then kill the Worm here, they can attack for 5. It's not worth 2 damage. I'm gonna just do this. So if the Worm gets dealt with, I still can block the Banali Sleeper. All I need here is time. Right. They have 2 cards in hand. Okay, so that could be the first strike trick. It can be that thing that gives it +1/+1 counter and indestructible. I'm gonna just do it like this. Let them use their cards, whatever it is, and then I have this rework charge. Well, this is not actually bad because they are going to lose the creature. Now there's my Mossbird Ancient, so it's time to get the 5 life, and even if they deal with the 7/7, they have 7 attacks with this thing. That's a lot of time I have here, and I can deploy more creatures. Okay, that is something they can do, but if they attack with all, yeah, it's not even that great of an attack for them. Iconoclast, so I have 7 mana, I can play 2 of these things. Alright, so I'll just attack for a bunch of damage here, of course. I could make this deal 5, but it doesn't matter, then I can't. Yeah, I want to cast 2, of course. 2 creatures in here. Let's have the O. Although the Trampler is pretty interesting too. I'm definitely playing the Writing Necromass, but I don't have the red sauce to make it hasty. I'm probably going to win regardless, but okay, let's play the Traveler here. Can't imagine them dealing 12, even if they have another of these heroic charges, right? I will have enough toughness to... Because that's 3, 3, 4, 10, that's 15 points of trample, and I can block enough that I won't be dying. So if they are attacking with everything, I block as if they had a heroic charge. Which means I'm gonna block the strike team with the Necromass, and I'm gonna block one of the 1/1s with the Iconoclast. Another strike team. Okay, that's really good red-white card. Oh, there's a Weatherlight completed. Is this even worth playing? Because if I play this pre-combat and I lose some creatures... Well, let's first check out the math. They have 6 toughness. I have 10 points of trample. Well, they can... And then they will jump block these 2. Then they will have to put 2 creatures in front of them. Tramplers. Because if I leave mana for this thing, I can gain some life here. So I think it's time to just attack with everything. Maybe I won't attack with exactly everything. Maybe I will be attacking with... I guess the 5/5 gets just a jump blocked. So I'm gonna attack with the Tramplers and... oh, the Rootfall. I need to pay attention to the fact that they might have the heroic charge and I don't want to lose to that thing. That's the reason I'm not playing the Weatherlight completed here, and I will leave mana up for the sacrifices to gain life. So I don't even need to activate this thing. They're gonna go exactly to 1 here. And then I have... Make sure I have the mana. 2 green, 2 black will be open, yep. So I can gain 4 life here now still. Yeah, heroic charge is nowhere near enough, because I can even block these things. I only take for 7 damage and I can gain 4, so that's nowhere near enough. So heroic charge isn't gonna be enough for them to win. Is there any other combination of cards? There is even a red mass removal effect which deals 5 damage to every creature, so Mossberg Ancient would even survive that thing. And I don't think a red-white aggressive deck plays a mass removal spell, because they usually would just rather play cards that help them win, not help them wipe the board. Alright, so Snare Spinner probably going to be worth it. It can block the 3/1s, the 1/1s, even the Flyer. It's bad against the Steel Crusher, that's for sure, but there are other things it can block, so I think I will play the Snare Spinner here. Hexbane Tortoise. Oh, the Barricade will be good, definitely playing that. Anything else in here I specifically want to have? I don't think the Broken Wings has any targets that are worth... you know, it's worth sideboarding this. No, 3/2, no thanks. So... what are the cards I won't be needing here now? Because I did sideboard 2 cards in. Well, the Weatherlight completed that. That's not gonna be for this deck. I think... not sure about the Bone Splinters. That's probably... because they don't have... yeah, I have a bunch of removal spells anyway, so I think the Bone Splinters will go away here. And this is it. Okay, that's about enough lands. I need to have 1 more draw so I can play the Gardener here. And I have the 2-drop to block their early stuff. Okay, they mulliganed. An aggressive deck needs to curve out. That's one of the drawbacks of it, although an aggressive deck has usually the kind of mana curve that they can keep most 2-landers, for instance, as long as both colors are present. Okay, so do I want to play the wood line? Wooded Ridge line? No, because this is my only black source, and I might need black way more than the red early, because I have only one red killer spell. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the same thing. Do this, block that thing, and hope that the fact I have these tap lands doesn't really, you know, beat me too badly. Well, seems to be the case. Actually, I'm gonna play these because I might need the double black for the Extinguish the Light, but they missed the turn 3 play, so I have now a lot of time here. They have a good card though, but I can just block that thing with... well, I can block with that thing, but then again... do I want to use this for... I want to use this for mana producing, that's the thing. So, if I play this, I wouldn't even block with it. I mean, this is... they might have the hasty... Oh yeah, that's the problem actually. They might have the thing that's, you know, giving... that kicker thing with 5 mana, 3-1 and 2-1-1s. With this is pretty nasty, so I need to block this thing. That means I'm gonna play this. BO3, what are they? Okay, so... not too relevant stuff, I guess. Okay, that is Captain's Call, so... definitely... they will have a good attack, well, unless I just use the Extinguish the Light here. Yeah, why wouldn't I? I mean, I kinda want to use the Soul Tender to block this thing though. And play the Deathbloom Gardener right now, so I can play the Mossbird Ancient on the next turn, because I have this untapped land here. If this survives, I will have 7 mana on the next turn. Or I could just kill this right away and take 3 and, you know, move slowly. So I will take 6 plus this trample. I would take 8 if I let them attack, especially if they have the... okay, actually, if they do have the, you know, the hasty thing, that's gonna be horrible. So I'm gonna do this right now before they untap with the indestructible stuff. And I'm just... I mean, I might even just block one of those. Okay, Captain's Calls. Well, the 3-1 isn't the best against that, but... I'm still going to block one of them. All I need is time. Okay, that is a really good one, because I have now 1-3, which I can use to block one of those, and then I can play the Mossbird on the next turn. And there's a strike team, so that is definitely... okay then. I think I can afford now to... well, I can afford, but I can just draw an untapped land, and if I don't, I can still play the threats undetected. So it's time to just do it like this. Yeah, I need to sell my life. I didn't want to trade the Snare Spinner with that thing, and here it is, an untapped land, so I'm pretty good to go. They had a pretty impressive draw there. Okay, I don't have the blue, so let's play a threats undetected, I guess. Let's see what they give. Anything that... well, let's see actually first the graveyard. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 creatures. Yeah, the Necromass is quite cheap. Let's take the Necromass. And I guess I could take the... well, I'm gonna take the Crusher regard. I think out of the 2 drops, that's 2 mana plays, I want to have that, and then... not, I mean 2 power plays, I want to have that. And then this thing. Guess, I mean, I could also take the Elfheim here. Instead of the Necromass, but I can cast the Necromass, I can't cast the... so let's do it like this. The Griffin Protector is pretty good, by the way, with the strike teams and the Captain's Calls. That's just straight up +3/+3 with 1 card. So they gave me these guys in here, so this means I can just attack here. And of course the snare spinner can block the protector, but only if it doesn't have a... I mean, it's only kind of a good idea. It's only if they don't have the toughness boost from something having entered the battlefield. Okay, so now they can't even attack with it unless they have a trick, and they realize that they probably had a land in hand, so they can't attack it. It will just trade with the snare spinner, and they can't beat the 7/7 Trampler when I have, you know, blockers for their soldiers. So this went well. Even my sideboard cards, you know, were relevant here. Okay, it's a fine hand. I can just play the 2/2 here. I have the defensive 4-drop. Yeah, the advantage of these, you know, non-aggressive decks is of course that your starting hands don't have to be that impressive in terms of curving out and applying pressure. You just need to survive. And then again, if your opponent is playing some kind of a grindy deck as well, you might give them a little bit too much time to set up their stuff, and this seems like that's the case. Now, what am I supposed to do? Maybe play the 2/2 now, although I might find the blue source at some point. 2/2 might not, you know, contribute much. So let's play this, so at least whenever my creatures start dying, they will contribute to the Weatherlight completed. Yeah, this is in fact a vehicle that doesn't... A vehicle that does not have a crew ability, so the only way to make this a creature is to... I don't need this. Now it has 1 power, and there's the blue mana, wow. The only way to make this a creature is have 4 of my guys die. So, I'm gonna play the Crusher here, so let's just have the regular land. Okay, so what is the opponent doing? Mushroom Ball, maybe? Okay, good mills here I get. I mean, I guess if they have a Mushroom Ball spell, at least I get 2 counters on this thing. Right, well, alright. I don't have anything else to do than just attack here, and I don't know. They might have the... It's a 5 mana red sorcery. Deal 5 damage to anything, to everything. With some kicker options there. Yeah, I can keep the Root Swallow. Don't think I need to do anything pre-combat. This is weird. I'm gonna get a card out of this thing, so it's fine. Yep, let's take the Ancient. So... am I going to play the Root Swallow? Actually I am, because let's say they kill the board. This will have 4 counters and I can attack with the 5/5 flyer. So let's do it. I am assuming they have to have the mass removal spell. Why would they also otherwise have all these colors and all those cards and not do anything? They have to wipe the board right now, and otherwise I have no idea what they're having in their hand unless all the cards in their hand are green. That's more lands and green spells without any of the lands being... Okay, I see now. They go to discard to hand size. What is going on? Look at this. 4 different colors, 5 lands total, and they didn't even want to show what they discard. So, is it really so that they in fact had green cards there and they never had any green producing land? I guess they could have double black, double... No, they have double black, but they could have... Well, no, double blue, so double white. So they had double red, they had actually triple red, double black, double blue, and single white. And they still wouldn't be able to... They didn't have any, you know, relevant place there for the entire game here. Okay, so all I know now that they are very slow deck, apparently, probably a base green domain deck. So I don't need anything that is, you know, defensive or anything like that. I guess the Wineshaper Prodigy still can, you know, get the card. If I play it when I have blue mana available, I could play something like an Hexbane Tortoise, I guess. But I don't really know if any of these cards are very bad in terms of, you know... Well, I might still play the completed Weatherlight here. I mean, is anything here bad? Even though this is a... I might not need the blocker, it can still attack for, you know, bunch of damage. For example, with the Soul Tender, it can attack as a 5/5. Oh, yeah, I don't think the Tortoise is, you know, that good. Aggressive Sabotage, no. I'll just keep the same deck. Let's get a little bit more information about them. How about this one? Well, this is not a keep. It can't really do anything. This thing is even a double black. They kept 7, I will mulligan 6, and that is... It shall do. Okay, bite down with the Death Toucher is quite fine. Still no forests or anything like that. Question of Rats... Right, that's an interesting card to run in such a deck. Okay. Sadly, I didn't find my tapped lands, so I will have a bit slower progression once I start drawing my tap lands, but so be it. They can make this into a 3/1. Okay, so I do want to have the Gardener up. In case I draw a land, I can play the Worm. They also might have some removal there, though. I guess I'll just have the Soul Tender. This is a safer thing if they have removal. Okay. No lands here, so actually I don't mind milling this stuff, even though they were good cards. And also this thing, you know, I would have been able to play it with this mana, but it's still... It is still, you know, kind of a value to mill it, because it still can do stuff from the graveyard. Now this thing, I don't want them to... Let's see, maybe I'm going to... I mean, I don't want them to start doing stuff with this thing, but I'm going to attack, offer the trade to the 1/1, the bite down is an instant, so... I will, in that case, just bite it down, I think. Now, when this becomes tapped, yeah, it gives like +4/+4 to something else, so definitely not something I'm willing to suffer, so let's do this. I would have wanted to play my Gardener here, but oh well. But yeah, they do have green here, so that's probably what they had in the previous game, mostly green cards in hand. Okay, that is important. And well, I have an 0/5 which can block it, assuming they have nothing. I could also kill it with the Bone Splinters though. But no, I'm going to actually... don't necessarily mind trading with the Gardener now. Although, let's just do this. It's a more restricting mana cost anyway, so now I have it on the battlefield. So if the opponent uses a card to get rid of this thing, that's fine. I will obviously block the 4/4, unless they like enhance this thing's power pre-combat. I still have the option to jump block with the Soul Tender. Now they might have a Gaia's Might, and now they have full domain, so that's +5/+5 from the one card. It's pretty sick now you think of it, because it's so easy to get these different land types in this format. So you'd have basically a spell in this format, common card that gives at instant speed +5/+5 with 1 mana. Okay, I want them to use all their resources, so whatever it is, they have to use it. Okay, that thing gives a trample, but it's only 3 trampled over thanks to this having 5 toughness. And there's a ridge line, which means this can come back now. It will come back tapped though. So maybe it is time to... I guess I could kill the branch rider if I do it on my main step. But I can also just, you know, block it. So I think this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play this thing right now, and I can still use this as instant speed effect. If they kill the gardener, I can respond by, you know, tail swiping the gardener and the outrider. That's my plan here. And if they just attack, I will block with the gardener. Gets double strike. Okay, it has double strike. Any other tricks? No, they actually didn't copy that instant. Okay, they actually messed up, I guess. Unless they have an instant or sorcery they wanna copy, but this doesn't have double strike. They chose the wrong mode. When you cast the next instant or sorcery, well, I have no reason to use a tail swipe now. So, do they have a spell? Was that a trick or something? Because they might, you know, play in a neat way and you know, play post-combat some spell. But anyway, they did not. So this thing doesn't have trample. It can be pumped multiple times though, so I'm not attacking with the Soul Tender. I will be putting down the Elfheim Worm here. They were tapped out in terms of red mana, so I could have played the tail swipe now, but I don't think it matters too much. I might even just trade with the Elfheim Worm too, because they can of course pump it twice to make it into a 5/1. Rotting Necrops, well, Bone Splinters maybe could do some work. They don't have 3 mana here, so this is what I'm going to do here. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Tail swipe. And Bone Splinters this thing, sacking this thing, and then I can... Okay, actually can get the Green Widow back too. That is better. But I don't have to do it on my turn, I can do it on their end step. Then I can have this as a hasty attacker. Dragon Whelp, sure. Not really that great with this mana base. I mean, they don't have that much red. They are actually forced to block now, right? Because that is 13 points of trample damage. And they don't actually... It's only a jump block. Oh yeah. Because they have no red mana whatsoever here. So they had like red, black, green, yeah, this maybe explains the game 1 situation a little bit. That is 5 mana, so I guess one might still play the land, why not? Well, this seems easy. Yeah, I can keep it. on the play especially. I shouldn't be falling behind too much, even though I might not have that many plays available in the first couple of turns. Crystal Grotto, alright. Thran Portal, so they will have to take life loss every time they use this land. Oh, they have this rare here, okay. When this attacks, target creature defender player control can't block if it has power less than this thing, and they can pump it once. To keep it, make it into a 5/3, and it costs 6, but the domain makes it cheaper per land type they have. So that's a mountain, and that has no land type. Well, this thing has conveniently enough 3 power, so it can actually just block it. Let's see what I mill here. Creature, land creature. Okay. Well, they can obviously just remove this thing, and then they get to start attacking, and I'm a bit low on action here. Well, that would have worked. Well, not that well, I guess. Now let's take something I can definitely cast. So I'm gonna play a land drop this turn. On the next turn I will have 5 mana. I have 3 creatures in my graveyard, so I can play the Necromass as a 5-drop. Can't take the Worm because both have 5 power. This is a good defensive play in this situation. Although, oh no, it's not, because they can make it unable to block. I need something that have... No, okay, I'm gonna take the Green Widow for sure. Do I have any lands in my graveyard? I have 1. Okay. I don't have the blue land. This can be a cheap spell. I might want to have access to that thing, and then... Yeah, I can't kick this, so I'm not too excited about that. Well, I guess I'll take the Mossbird Ancient. I guess they're gonna give me the Ancient, but I have, 6 lands already here, so assuming I'm gonna survive until turn 7, I will be able to cast it, unless I really don't draw any lands. Which wouldn't be that bad of a situation either. Okay, they didn't want to give me the 7-drop. Okay. So I guess it's going to be Necromass, and then I can have the Tail Swipe open. If they, kill the Necromass, I can respond and kill something else. Alright, well, this changes things a little bit. I don't need a Bone Splinters. I don't think I need a 6th land now either, because I didn't get the 7-drop. So I can get rid of a swamp here. Terra Sunder is really decent too, but this is now the idea. If they have a removal spell on this, I will respond with the Tail Swipe. And then they won't have a creature either. Or they can pump this actually and we will trade, but I don't think I mind, because they will use 4 mana for that. They have only these 2 different land types. It will cost 4 mana to pump it. Liliana of the Whale. Okay, well, that is something I have to kill with Terra Sunder. They're gonna make me sack.
This is my home, and I don't appreciate it when people touch my things.
Sadly, I don't have... Imagine if I had a red producing land there. If I had a red producing land there, that would be so good. I would just be able to haste up there. So
off you go.
They're gonna make both of us discard. Now I could actually take the discard. Because what I can do here is... Yeah, well, I mean, I can just do it like this. Because they will have to discard too, and then I can respond with a Terra Sunder. And they have 4 cards, so they will have to discard a card in here. Okay, well that is nasty. Okay, that is really nasty. That is a good setup. Oh, that's a good setup. I mean, I would actually want to kill the Elder Dragon War, but the problem is they can just start ramping up. I mean, they will have a 4/4 flight. That is a big problem. But I guess I have some removal in my deck still. And I have no way to kill this thing, and they can activate another edict effect with 2 loyalty, so I mean, I have to do it like that. Really sad.
I knew this was a waste of time.
What do they discard? A spell. Okay, so how many creatures I have here now? I think it doesn't matter, I still take the 5/5 here. It is the best thing I have. So I won't be able to cast it, so I guess I'm not going to do it right now then. They might have another of these aggressive sabotages. They discard a number and then draw that many cards. They can make the best, I mean, improve their hand even here. Yeah, this is really good. I mean, because the good thing about this thing is you can always play this as a 4-mana 4/4. Oh, they chose not to discard anything. So they have a Sojourner here. Okay, I need to find a removal for the 4/4. This 5/5 Death Toucher will deal with that thing actually quite nicely. Should I just do it right away? I kinda need to kill the token though. So let's... Yeah, the bite down was good. I assume the last card in their hand is something relevant because they did not discard it. So that is a King Darien. So this can be sacrificed to say that the creature tokens you control gain hexproof and indestructible. This is a token, so I would need to kill it now. Problem is they can start using the ability here. And that will take over the game. So I guess they just have, you know, 2 creatures. I need to kill both of them. I can kill only one, but I guess I need to do this right now because otherwise this is gonna beat me faster. But that is really interesting that they have... I mean, at first it seemed like... Seemed like... By the way, I could have actually... Interesting. Because they of course made this attack because this made it into a 5/7, so I could have actually gone them, killed this mid-combat, killed this, but they would still have the 4/4 there. But yeah, I mean, what was I saying? It looked like it's a black-red deck, and suddenly there is a green-white card in there, so they actually have some kind of a domain deck. But yes, I could have done it. But the problem is, I wanted to kill the dragon token. I didn't know they are going to attack with the Sojourner there, and if I let this resolve while they have the token, I cannot kill it because they can sack this to save it. Okay, now this is just weird. They have a very good set of, you know, black-red cards, and then this green-white thing. Well, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, I don't think I can beat all their stuff. No, I can't. Let's just go to the next game. So they have them deal 2 damage to everything. I'm really baffled because up until the point they played this thing, it seems like it's a very focused black-red deck. But I mean, that's not really relevant to ponder right now. I don't want to lose too many creatures on the thing that deals to everything. So for example, these Death Touchers are really... Well, actually a lot of my stuff is not that good here now. My sideboard options aren't that great either. Do I want to play a Gibbering Barricade? An aggressive sabotage of my own, perhaps? Yeah, the Saga is very good. Broken Wings. What's my angle of attack against that deck? It didn't seem that aggressive in the end. So how about the blessing thing here? I didn't see a lot of removal though. No. So I guess I'm gonna I want to cut some of this stuff. Maybe I will cut like a Vine Shaper Prodigy. Oh man, so many of my guys have 2 toughness. And these things, well, these things have value when they are in the graveyard, so it's not the worst, but still it's a little bit annoying. I feel like I want to play my own Sabotage in here. This can get me a card. This is just too efficient. This is good later in the game. Completed thing. I like that thing here too, I guess. Maybe I will just not play one of these gardeners. Okay, let's do it like this. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do here. Other than try to minimize the 2 toughness and 1 toughness creatures, but that really didn't seem that easy to do because most of them have a critical function here. Alright, so this is at least a decent curve here with a green widow. Okay. This will be a really good one. So they are mostly like a 4-color deck and not like an aggressive black-red deck. The fact they had the 3-1 on turn 2 made it look like that they have a aggressive deck, but apparently not the case. Yeah, they are definitely having some other kind of game plan here. Well, they can always have a Liliana of the Whale, of course.
Something suspicious is going on. And for once, it's not my fault. One of your friends has to leave.
Well, my plan is to play the Soul Tender here now. Discard the Swamp, play this giving Menace, and then you know, they will have hopefully a blocker instead of removal, and then I can finish off the Liliana of the Whale. I don't like discarding the Swamp here, but what can I do? Yeah, they do have the powerful cards for sure. The Saga and then...
Drop it.
The Saga and then of course Liliana and then the uncommons they had. So if they have now removal on the Soul Tender, it's going to be annoying. I just hope they have 1 creature, because I can give this thing Menace and then I can finish off Liliana. That's the plan here. They have difficulties choosing what to discard, at least some trivial. Okay, Furious Bellow, I don't think it's... Alright. So... Is there a flash creature from these colors? I don't think there is. So the Bog Badger pre-combat doesn't make any sense, right? It has to be a removal spell, and when they remove this I have to remove the Liliana with the Extinguish the Light, because otherwise they can just make me sack another creature. So... Oh, they actually did not have...
Whatever. Luck favors the foolish, after all.
Anything there. Interesting. Well, that's giving me a little bit better chance. Okay, now they have the fixing. I have a couple of points of removal. I can sacrifice the Soul Tender for the Bone Splinters. This is coming at some point. This is coming at some point. The opponent is of course not pressuring me at all, so I probably have time to cast this. But they might have the, you know, discard 2 F card. That would be really annoying. Yeah. Okay, I can kill that thing. I allow them to trade though. So at 5 mana they can make a 1/1. Okay, since I do have the Bone Splinters, let's just kill it. I don't gain the life here because they are going to sack it in response, but I don't think I care about 3 life in here. But But I really didn't want them to make a token which can then, you know, actually block the Soul Tender because it only has 1 toughness. And now I can get rid of this guy anyway. And I have the untapped land for the Green Widow, so it is actually going all pretty well now. I can get the Green Widow back, or I could use the Soul Tender, but I think I'm gonna use the Soul Tender if the Mossbird Ancient is gonna die. Yeah, that Firebrand is fine, they can activate only once each turn, but they can activate it also on my turn. But it's +2/+2, so it will still only trade. They have a forest, yeah, the activation is 3 mana I guess, but... Okay, right down. So be it. Only a tapped land which makes it a little bit slower. Oh, they don't... In fact, they don't... Don't trade here while being at 8 life. They took 3 going down to 5, so they have some way to make this very good somehow. Or they can just remove the Badger. Phalanx. They needed it to be there for the Phalanx, I guess. Alright. I don't plan on getting anything back with this thing. It only can get the Sunbathing Rootfalla, which, you know, could actually be a 6/6, but I'd rather wait this thing to die and then... But that's a good one too. But then I can get the Ancient back. No, I cannot get it back. That was annoying. This has Vigilance even. Oh, they didn't realize it has Vigilance. Now, let's do the threats undetected. Man, that was annoying. Do I have a way to deal with an enchantment? Don't think I do. Oh, Terrasunder. Yes, I do. Alright, anyway. The best cards in here are Writhing Necromass. And then I should... So this has now 3 power. I have the mana for this thing also. I still think I'll take like another Soul Tender here. But that is 3 power though. That doesn't allow me to have this thing. Is my 2 power creature another Rootfalla or... No, I have the Rootfalla in my hand. The other in graveyard. So I could take the Barkweave Crusher here, I guess. As a 2 power creature, and then I have a 3 and 1 options, I guess. I could have taken also the 2 power kicker thing. But it's just not... 2/2 isn't gonna do much. I mean this does more. And then I'll take a... I don't actually have that great option because I still need to pick 2 and one of them has to be 3 and then that doesn't leave me more than... I guess the Gardener always has to happen. Well, let's take this thing and then the Gardener. Fine, it's fine. Gardener will at least trade with something because they can't in fact take the you know, the 1 damage forever here. But yeah, if I can find my Terrasunder, that'll be good stuff. I can get my Mossbird Ancient back. Even at instant speed if that ever becomes relevant. So I can play these and it will be a 5/5 next turn if the battery survives, so it's fairly okay. Oh, no, sorry. I of course can't enlist creatures that have summoning sickness, so I could play this and boost it, make it into a 6/6, and then this would be a 8 power creature, but I think it's gonna just trade with the Rada's Firebrand anyway. So that's that, and then I can... Now if they have the thing that deals 2 to all my creatures, I don't actually want these to die, so I will not play the Death Bloom Gardener. I will keep the mana up for this thing, so that it doesn't die to a 2 damage effect, which they might have in their hand. Although I think they would be interested in having the 4/4 token, so maybe... Okay, so now what's this? They're gonna have something, I guess. No, I should block first and then pump. Okay, let's see what's it gonna be. I just have to, make them use all the cards. There's nothing else. That was gonna get it anyway, because I can only activate this once. So at least this way I prevented some damage. Alright, so now there is a Necromass, which I'm happy to have here. And then, if it dies, I could get it back right away, but I guess I'm gonna just play this Death Touch. Because I do have actually an attack with it. Plus, if they kill the Necromass, then I can at least block the Phalanx. There is the Terra Sunder. Now this is really good stuff. I should be in a fairly good shape now. I know I could have attacked with everything, but I still fear they have an answer on the Necromass, so I don't want to jump attack with the Poke Badger onto the Phalanx here. Flowstone Infusion there. Now I could kill the Phalanx, but I think I still like more, just killing the Leyline Binding at end of their turn. I have a lethal 7/7 and these combined are lethal too. And I could get something back. I can do it on my own turn. I have enough mana to do that. Okay, so now this was a little different game. So they in fact are totally not a black-red aggressive deck. It was just how their game 1 started. Because as you can see, they have all the colors. Well, not blue actually. But they are 4-color deck. But the Liliana, the Phalanx is also an interesting card to kind of splash. They have like multiple of these non-creatures, so I'm not sure if they are even gonna have easily time to make this a cheap creature. But that's what they chose to do. So anything that's good against Liliana, well, the hasty thing is good against Liliana. But I don't have many ways to get red, and I did cut one of these Death Bloom Gardeners because I don't want to get wrecked by the annoying saga they have that can deal 2 damage to all of my creatures. Now, should I play something like a Molten Monstrosity here? Add a couple of mountains here, also giving more chances for this kicker here. Don't really know. Yeah, they have these Flowstone Infusions too, so I definitely don't want to have a lot of 1 and 2 toughness creatures. Cutting one of the Death Bloom Ancients makes sense. I think I still want to play Death Bloom Gardener it is. So if I played like this thing, I would have to cut something else, and then it can be rather annoying. I guess the Wineshaper Prodigy is the kind of card I could be cutting. So if I cut that, am I really gonna play the Molten Monstrosity here? Add like 3 mountains here. Okay, let's do that. That's crazy actually. But I mean, nothing else red here. Sure. Maybe 3 is too many, but I want to be able to actually cast it when I draw it. So because this seems like the kind of matchup where having big creatures is just going to be enough. Okay, I have the black and green. I don't have the double black though, but I have a 3-drop, so I'm going to keep this. And Terrasunder will be able to remove any creature with any land I can draw. But yeah, the problem... Okay, there is the double black. The problem is again the Liliana of the Whale. If they have that on turn 3, they have that thing too, that's really annoying. But there is the red at least. Don't think they're gonna play an artifact or an enchantment on the next turn. So let's play the tapped land now and hope they don't have a Liliana. Because if they do, it's... Okay, they don't at least have double black. I don't like the fact they had the Rados 5 around here, but... So be it. Tail swipe, not bad, not bad. Let's have this here. And this here. This can only be activated once. So... It's ever gonna be a 5-3, even if they have like full domain and it costs only 1 mana to activate. Okay, so now this is again the kind of aggressive stuff there, but I have good stuff myself here. Could tail swipe hit this thing. It actually is worth it. Then I can leave the extinguish still. I mean, I could gain life, it would be also more mana efficient to use. That's actually true. I mean, mana efficiency is a thing, so if I use this now I have no... Okay, I'm actually going to do this. I do also gain the life there. And I will also raise here. Hopefully they don't have like a hasty guy or anything. But next turn I can play my 5-5. I have a Phalanx which I can deal with. Should I just kill it? I can actually do also... I can tail swipe this Steel Crusher and then play the Monstrosity, because this will have 4 power in that case, and this is going to cost 4 mana. So that is the absolute best thing, because now I can do this. And then I can play the Monstrosity. I guess I could attack first, but they might block, and then I couldn't cast the Monstrosity. So I'm gonna cast this first, and then I'm gonna do this. Now this is... I mean, if they had a Liliana of the Whale there, that would be annoying, because then they trade here, and then I have to sack this. But yeah, they have some other... So let's see, they are gonna have a trick of some kind, but I can respond to the trick, so this is the kind of combat situation where I'm not going to make them use the trick. I'm gonna make them use the trick once I have untapped, and then I can do some good stuff there. I don't think they can risk it. Risk a block, and I mean, assuming they don't have 2 tricks. If they have only 1 trick, they can't really block. That's too risky, because... Well, we'll see now. Maybe they have 2 tricks. Furious Blow, First Strike. I'm not going to let them... scry, so let's do this response and see what... I guess I could have done the Exile just in case they have the Indestructible thing there. This, by the way, has Trample, so it's gonna deal 5 damage still. Yeah, it was... I wanted to leave this in case I actually want to kill the Saga they might have there. For 2 mana now. But a safer play would have been to exile it, so the white trick that gives, you know, +1/+1 counter and a lifelink and Indestructible wouldn't have worked. But it would have worked against this. But I didn't get punished there, so there is that. Alright, so now I am going to let them trade with the Bog Badger here. I know I could... I mean, I could also just win here though, unless they have like a Lightning Strike specifically. Okay, I mean, that would have been... now that I have a lethal attack here, that changes things. I'm gonna exile this thing. Because this is just a game 1 now. If this wasn't a lethal attack, then I would have let this Bog Badger trade there and then play the threats undetected. Like so. Alright, so That went well. I won all the matches, so maybe... Well, I mean, this is just one event, it shouldn't really be too results oriented, but it seems like this format might be more about just similar to Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, about, you know, outvaluing your opponent. So my deck had a lot of ways to outvalue the opponent. Even something like an Eerie Soul Tender, which is generally doesn't look very good, but it is a 2-for-1 in the end. And then of course, the threats undetected, I think it was fairly good. So it is a divination that draws you 2 creatures, and assuming you have some nice targets, opponent has to still give you, because they get to choose the 2 that don't go to your hand. So basically you want to fetch 4 actually relevant creatures for that game state. But if you do have them, and I think I had enough, this 7 drop, I mean, yeah, this 7 power creature, a couple of 5 power creatures, and then even this as a 2 power creature is good later in the game because of the enlist. And even the root follows can be still relevant later in the game. So this can be a good card. I will maybe respect it a little bit more. I didn't get to use the completed, but there was the one game where I had this on the battlefield and opponent just didn't play any spells, and I was assuming they have a mass removal effect. So the fact I had these on the battlefield allowed me to play my 4th creature, because normally that's of course overextending to a rat effect, but I wanted to play the 4th creature because if they had it, I would have actually gotten a 5/5 flyer right away. And they were at such a low life total there that it would have been really relevant. So that did that. But I think that in general this is maybe a little bad card. I mean, in this kind of deck, it will be a lot better in a, let's say, in a white deck that can create a lot of those 1/1 tokens. Then this is going to be a lot better in that case. I just kind of wanted to try it, but I really didn't draw it that many times, so can't say anything else about it. But yeah, big creatures and some value stuff. Of course, the Green Widow, fantastic. I drew it multiple times. I never got to kick this for relevant effects, but I think it's still, because it's a passable 3-drop, and then you have this extra mode for later game situations. I think it's a slightly above average in green-black. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm happy to have another 3-0, and I will see you in the next draft then. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.